Hi, I'm Laura Fantacci, co-founder of Wardrobe Icons, and today I'm about to sit down with the CEO of Good American and the founding partner of SKIMS, who is also an incredible author, Emma Grede. She's written Start With Yourself, and I am very excited to have a conversation with her, and I hope you enjoy it. Without giving too much away, because I want people to read the book.
Thank you.
I sort of closed the last page and thought to myself, I really want to start by asking Emma, what made you feel that now was the moment to write and share Start With Yourself?
Well, you know, all the things that happen to you in your life happen like in a sequence when you've got the time and the space to be able to do them. And so that lined up for me really well. I think the other thing that happened for me is that my story started to get told for me. You know, sometimes I go on TikTok and I'm like, wow, there's these incredible kind of investigative influencers that go, okay, let me just map this out from the London College of Fashion. And I'm like, oh, great. Like there's pieces of that were right, but not entirely. I also think that I wanted to demystify the idea of what it means to be successful, because there's a lot of rhetoric out there that is not really true and certainly not my truth. And so I felt far better to tell my own story and to be realistic and have a sense of truth around what it really takes. And that was my point of view. I wanted to put my wisdom into kind of like the collective, you know, I guess the collective thought that's out there.
And you're doing an amazing job promoting the book and taking it out there. I've seen you on the tube.
If I can't market something, then there's an issue, right? I mean, it's like, if anything, I'm a marketeer first, so.
And I've been listening to a lot of interviews, and you said something that really kind of stopped me on my tracks, and it was that watching successful people isn't the same as being one. And you can't just listen your way to the top.
Says Emma, the podcaster. No, you cannot.
How does your book help women move from watching or listening or reading to acting on their ideas?
So this is written quite purposely in a very action-orientated way. Like I wrote the book almost back to front to how you find it now. So I wrote about building a business and creating a brand and leadership, career, money, trade-offs, like all that stuff is easy for me. But then I took a step back to say, what is it that I have done uniquely? And what have I got to grips with that I think would help other people? And that's why the book starts kind of grounding yourself in what your vision is for yourself. And then this idea of managing emotions. There's a lot of business books out there, but not enough written by women and not nearly enough written by, you know, high school dropouts who are mothers of 4. And I don't think that you can have a useful business book for women without talking about emotions. And so it was really about me creating something that I thought people could use and not just read. And so the structure was purposeful, the time was purposeful, and I think what I put in and the way that I talk about things afterwards was very, very purposeful to create a conversation.
And you come across as so refreshingly confident, which I love. I'm Italian, and I think that being Italian sometimes comes, you know, there's this perception that Italian women can be quite confident. I love it.
Somebody told me I had Italian hands once because I do.
Oh, you do a lot of that.
A lot of like
yeah,
Italian,
I've had to tone that down.
No, I bring it out. I'm like, let's go. Give me those Italian hands.
But regarding that confidence, have you always been this way, or is it something you can build over time? Because I want our listeners to know that confidence can grow.
Yeah,
right?
It can and it does, but it grows not in the way that you think. It's not about acting confident. It's actually about going through things, doing stuff, and teaching yourself that you can fail and come out on the other side and still be alive and still be fine and still be intact. And so the reason you see me as confident is because I've just done a lot of stuff. You know, it's like I've been through lots of things that worked, things that didn't work. I had lots of failures, and I put all of that in the book because I thought it would be useful for people to learn from, and also to understand that you don't just like pop up one day and have $1 billion company. It actually takes years and years and years of trying different things. And the confidence comes because I know that I can fail and still survive.
Yeah, you're a great example of that. And I think you're so honest in your book, and it's very refreshing. And I love it how you have all this wisdom, but you really entwine it with your own experience. And I loved it when you go through your, you know, your do's and don'ts, but you also put in your own story. I find that that's really gripping to me in the book.
Yeah, I mean, it can only ever be grounded in my story, right? I can't tell anybody else's. I can only tell my truth. And I think this book is that for sure.
And another thing that I love is you mentioned that you like impact. You wanted to write this book so that women could go away with it and have like a manual and something really helpful. And that is exactly what we do at Wardrobe Icons as well. So what is a long-term change you hope women will take away from your book?
I think if I could do anything, it would be to somewhat soften the conversation around money, because money and power are so aligned and interlinked that if you don't talk freely about money, if you don't educate yourself about money, if you don't take responsibility, fiscal responsibility for yourself, then you kind of count yourself out of the power conversation. You count yourself out of a conversation that is really important for women right now. Actually really important for everyone right now, that more women find themselves in positions of power. And so I would love it to be that we start to understand our worth, that we start to like get in and under the skin of what it means to run your own money, your own life, that isn't ever something that you outsource to anyone, trust, love them or not. But I think that's a really, really important takeaway for anyone who reads this book or otherwise.
And so which woman you imagine reading your book?
Oh, all women.
All women.
You know, because I never wrote something that I thought was, you know, that's why it's Start With Yourself, a new vision for work and life. Because work comes to us in so many different ways. You can work in a corporate job, you can work in a startup, you can work at the home. I just don't know any women who aren't working, who aren't laboring over something. And so when I think about my woman, it's like anyone who's getting up in the morning and doing something and largely doing it for others, which I think is about 99% of all women.
Do you think of your book, you mentioned this earlier, as a self-help guide, or is it something else? And following that, was there one book that sort of has helped you and that you would recommend reading alongside yours?
That's a great question. I think about this book as self-leadership. Yeah. I think the very philosophy that I live by when I talk about what it means to start with yourself, putting yourself at the very top of your list of priorities, is a way of living. I don't know that it falls into the category of self-help, because I'm like, help your fucking self. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's what I would like to say. But either way, however you want to put it, I actually did, you know, because I'm a massive reader and I love reading. I've read every business book on the planet, and I put a list of books that I love and have helped me in the back of the book, because I like to share information. I want to be like, I don't know what the opposite of a gatekeeper is. That's just not my vibe. I want to share it. I'm just a giver. I want to share the information that has mattered most to me. And so I did a list of maybe 25, 30 books that are there that actually have really impacted me in some way. Sadly, I'm just not clever enough to read anything alongside this at the same time. Between my kids and my job and writing this, my plate was full. And I was saying to somebody yesterday, I can't wait this summer to like read someone else's book. I'm like, let's go. I need to, you know, I need something else in my head.
Are you ready for a little quick fire?
Absolutely, always, born ready.
On your icons. So very on theme here. Your go-to beauty product, and you can only pick one.
Oh God, I mean, I'm so old now. I need so many things. I'm going to say the Rich Cream by Augustine Bader. It's one of those products that's worth the money.
And that's the face cream.
Yeah, the face cream. It's amazing. And I buy the minis all the time because I want it on every plane. And I get on a plane and I go like, and like have like an inch of it on my face.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, I love it.
Your wellness essential.
Honestly, I think it's meditation, because when I think about wellness, I think about it in a like holistic way, like what's good for my well-being. Yeah. And I need to take the temperature down very often. You know, when you've got 4 kids and businesses, like there's just always a constant conversation going on in my head. And so those moments that I can meditate and be reflective, I do it like on the plane a lot, especially in these days. So it's like I do transcendental meditation. So I have a mantra and I will meditate for 20 minutes. I read
that in the book, and it's something I'm not quite there at mastering. So I was inspired.
It's very difficult. Yeah. It's one of those things that I would say was definitely worth taking like the instruction. I've never been able to get through it. You know, I used to download all the apps and I'd get through to like day 9 and I'd be like, oh, I give up. This was very formative instruction that taught me how to do it.
And it's specific to you. It's your mantra.
It's your mantra. You can't tell anyone. You don't share your mantra. You just have it forever.
Fashion staple.
It could
be a classic.
It's going to be so boring, but it's just be like a good vintage denim. Like I buy like vintage Levi's wherever I am in the world. And that's coming from somebody who's got very good connections to denim companies. So I don't care. I love a vintage Levi and I buy them wherever I go.
Travel must have?
My headphones, a pen, all my work stuff, a laptop. I mean, I'm crazy. Like I have a crazy checklist, and if one thing's missing from my bag, like hell hath no fury.
You have a list that you actually tick off?
Oh, there is a list that I pack by for every single trip. Yeah,
it's genius.
No, it's like it has to, and I print multiple of them.
And you've got one for like weekends.
So I have the weekend, I have the work trip, but it's like the work trip one is the one that is the important one, and I have it for my hand baggage, and I have it for like the regular case.
That is genius.
Yeah, so you don't forget things.
Please, can you have a template of that
I
somewhere?
should put the template out. Yeah. Yes.
And you can sell it.
Coming to an Aspire email.
Okay,
yes,
well,
absolutely. EmmaGrede.com all day. We'll name it after you.
Okay, last one. A tech gadget you can't live without.
Do you know what? I have to have my big iPad because I like to read the newspapers, the broadsheets. So I have subscriptions. Like I still read the British Times, and I have the New York Times, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, and I like to read it on a big iPad because it feels like most papery, you know.
I'd love to send you a copy of our digital magazine.
Oh, maybe I'll take it all day long. I love it.
Great.
I'm a magazine psycho, so like I still buy magazines.
I come from magazines.
I will always
it to digital, but
listen, we both. We talk about that in the book. It's not either or, it's both and.
Yes. Well, Emma, thank you so much for your time. Honestly, I know you have a very busy schedule, so it's been amazing to talk to you. Thank you for this beautiful book.
Thank you.
I think it's a wonderful read, and as I was saying earlier, read it once, read it twice to kind of get it all in. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Laura.
And enjoy the rest of your time in London.
I certainly will do. How could I not?
Thank you.
Thank you, my love.